Good day all. Welcome to a Black Champion Lifestyle Media exclusive interview. Today we have with us Kemar Stuart, the leader of the new National Party. Kemar Stuart is an author, he's an economist, and he is a politician, amongst so many other things. We have been seeing Kemar Stuart in the media for a while now, most notably defending the cyber bill that was pushed by government that would have caused a very different Barbados as we know it today. However, we are not interested in Kemar Stuart, the politician today. We want to hear about Kemar, the man who was born and raised in Barbados, went through all of the systems, primary, secondary, tertiary, the normal living that a Barbadian has. We would like to hear his perspective on what birthed the man that we see today. Over to you, Kemar.
Well, good afternoon to everyone listening. Good afternoon, Black Champion Lifestyles. Thanks for the interview. It is my pleasure to be participating here this evening. So, welcome to the audience and viewers. Kemar Stuart. So Kemar Stuart grew up in the countryside of Barbados, mainly from my earlier years, in a place called Cottage, St. George. And in my later years, I would have migrated to the city. So I had an understanding of the difference of lifestyles of people who live, in the various districts of Barbados, rural and urban Barbados. So I always had a keen interest in life, social studies, understanding different dynamics associated with the quality of life for people living in the island. And I saw that Barbados was very diverse in different personalities that we have living on island, and how the systems that we have in place for upcoming young people who want to be inspired to enter the system. I went through those rigors step by step. So I attended St. George Primary School, then I attended the St. Michael's School, Nothing Without Help from God.
Nothing without help from God.
Yes. Yeah, so I'd like to acknowledge Mr. Shelton Perkins in this interview. And to acknowledge the great role that he played for thousands of students who would have attended the St. Michael's School. And Kemar Stuart is a product of the structure and the benefits associated with Mr. Perkins' leadership of the St. Michael's School. So I'd like to thank him very much, and to thank the persons also who came after him in helping the school to get to the standard that it's at today. So that experience helped to nurture a fight in me, and it helped to nurture an alternate view on how Barbados should function as a country. So therefore, at a young age, I always look at politics, listen to it, but there was no real channel or way you could get involved with the two main parties and to have any serious input or impact as a young person. Not even as a younger person, because I experienced persons more senior than me, older persons who were expressing frustration with the system. But when you're energetic and enthusiastic, you still have to go to get the experience that the seniors were speaking about. So I had my experience with the traditional system, and through that tough but still beneficial experience, I was able to birth the new National Party on Heroes Day in Barbados, April 28th. Heroes Day is special to many Barbadians. So just wanted to acknowledge, really acknowledge at the birth of futuristic ideas to bring development to the region, traditionally always based right here in Barbados. So the concept of the new national party is to bring serious regional development and for Barbados to be one of the principal thought drivers in that process, in collaboration with our regional brothers who will also be principal stakeholders as a joint unity effort.
Alright, so I like what you just said. Thank you for giving us that insight. My next question to you is, in your becoming aware of Barbados, Barbadiana, the social, the economic, cultural diversity that we have, what are some of the things that you have seen that impacts mostly how we see the island right now, the current state of Barbados?
Well, Barbados is a place that is financially viable, but financially viable only for a small percentage of the people who are actually here on island. So it is not only Barbadians here on island. You have people from over the region, different Caribbean countries. You have international diplomats and people with international links living here in Barbados as well. So Barbados is financially viable for some groups. However, the majority of the working population, Barbados seems to be a financial constraint for them. Meaning at this point, more than every person in Barbados could relate to a situation where they had to cut corners because they have to pay bills. So basic necessities that you want to afford, have to cut that because you have to pay an increase in bills. Right? Basic things like gas, having to pay garbage and sewage tax. And the fact that majority of the island is not connected to sewage, but still have to pay sewage tax. Right? So these type of sacrifices that the people are making, I'm thinking that sacrifice should be made when necessary, yes. However, the benefits of that sacrifice are not passed on to the people when necessary. These benefits are usually, maintained within the business structures, and the more corporate side of things, and the trickle-down benefits don't reach the pockets of average Barbadians.
Understood. So, you said a lot there, and I'm pretty sure the viewers and who see this will have a lot to digest and a lot to say. What I want to ask you now is, what do you think is the greatest divide between the elders in Barbados and the youth? I'm seeing a great divide between elders and the youth. Once where there were families with great grandmothers, maybe grandmothers, mothers, they had elders around. Now it seems that isn't the case, and we're seeing a different society emerge. What do you think is the cause of that?
Well, over time, as it becomes more expensive to live in the country, taking care of the elderly in this economy and this society has become a serious expense. Right? So I'm sure if you look at the recent numbers on elderly care and look at the level of investment the private sector is making in elderly care, to see that there's serious business associated with the care of the senior population in Barbados. Right? That fact associated with working parents, right? Working parents who are out of households, traditionally that responsibility rests at grandparents. Right? However, our grandparents are working no more years as they continue to increase the pension age. So therefore, the children are basically at home, doing self-raising on technology, focused on tablets, using telecoms to communicate with parents, probably hiring a babysitter or asking a cousin to look after the child. So that dynamic has shifted, not in its entirety because we still have many extended families across Barbados, many nuclear families as well, who grandparents would have passed actually. So I still respect that there is family structure in Barbados. However, there is the breakdown in communication between the structures, and I believe it has to do with the fact of increasing stress, increasing financial burdens, increasing health burdens, because people are facing serious health challenges, especially in 2025. See people just dropping down dead as recently on the news. And then there's the issue of serious gun violence happening among the young black males in Barbados.
Understood, yeah. We definitely see an uptick. I think right now the country is at 29.
Yeah,
29 murders for the year, which is pales in comparison to 2024, where it was much less in this shorter space of time. What do you have to say to the people of Barbados and the wider world about the gun violence going on in Barbados right now?
Well, first I'd like to say it is sad, and very sad that we're losing our young black budding males to violence. But I think there needs to be a serious intervention to be able to stop this serious wave of violence we're experiencing in Barbados. There's chatter at high levels, but the reality on the ground is that it's seriously impacting families across this country, and it's destroying the fabric of Barbados, not only for Bajans but tourists as well. And it's seriously ruining the tranquility of our island, and we need to take a serious note, that champion, take a serious note, and to do what is necessary to reverse this scourge of gun violence.
What does, I know I said we ain't talking about the political, but that's a part of your lifestyle as well. What does an MP has to say about the gun violence?
Well, the new National Party is saying that we don't want to only focus on the street where people would be caught with a one gun or two gun. We need to be serious about tackling organized crime. We see in Jamaica they organized a unit called MOCA, the Major Organized Crimes Unit, and they are experiencing a serious decline in their current crime rate. So I'd like to congratulate the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Bones, for achieving that result. And I would say that quite similar could be done in Barbados, where we tackle the floor of the firearms network, as opposed to tackling it from the ground retail side.